Hello, guys. Thank you and welcome back to FlashLight online TV show. And today we have our new guest here and our co-host. So right away we shall start by asking them to introduce themselves, and then finally our guest will introduce himself. So let's start from that far left.
Hello guys, Benson Mtiso, Exotic Fashions.
Thank you.
Hi guys, Eric Mutinda from Where One.
Thank you. So we do have a guest right with us, and we want to hear what this guest has for you guys. We want to know if this guest is a serious guest, and we want to hear from his point of view. We want to know what he is really working towards before this period of elections. And I would wish you introduce yourself.
Uh, Thanks a lot, Banamoki, Eric, and Mutiso for making time to be with us this afternoon. My name's James Moreidi Nduma from Bere South. I come from a place called Mavuria, a place called Kiamukoyo in Mavuria Ward. Sorry.
Yes.
And I'm an aspirant for the seat of Member of National Assembly. That is the MP seat in Bere South.
Yes.
I'm a civil engineer by profession. Specifically, I specialize in renewable energy, wind energy.
Yes.
I think that's it for my introduction.
Thank you so much.
Right.
So guys, you've heard his engineer James Nduma, and he is aspiring for the position of member of National Assembly, and that is Mbere South constituency.
Yes.
And Flashlight TV is always keen to hear what these aspirants are all talking, what they are talking about,
Right.
and everything that he has for us, his manifesto, and how he has designed this structure of campaigns, and what he wants to do for the people of Mbere South. So, Mr. Nduma,
Yes, sir.
why politics?
Politics determines a lot in our lives. That is the first thing we need to understand. Politics is the first line of defense in our lives.
Sure.
If you're talking about government expenditure and how it affects us, we must first recognize that we are all taxpayers.
Yes.
We are members of this nation called Kenya. And as members of this nation, we all pay taxes. All these taxes are then put together for every citizen of this country.
Yeah.
And to then ensure that we have a share and a proper share of these taxes, then we send someone into parliament
Yeah.
to then see to it that we get a fair share of our allocation. That is the first thing. So then, if we look at what has happened in the past, I think it's very correct to say that in Bere South, we are actually dissatisfied. We are disenchanted. We are not satisfied, really, with what has been brought back to us by them, the people that we have sent forth into National Assembly. And this runs for a long period of time. If we look at it even before independence, in the LegCo days, we used to, we voted people in. Through 1963 independence, we have voted in every subsequent election. But when we look at then the benefits that have come to the community in Bere South, then everyone will acknowledge that there is a gap between what we've offered the nation of Kenya and what has come back
Yeah.
to us as a community in Bere South.
Yes.
That is one of the things that really pushes me to then think that we could do better in this particular area of leadership.
So definitely there has been some leadership
Yes,
there before,
quite.
Mchanganye.
and kumekuwa na, we've had Mr. Mutava,
Quite.
That is Honorable Mutava.
Right.
He did it for 10 years.
10 years.
Then the incumbent, that is the Honorable Kingangi.
Right.
And I can see there's so many number, or there's a huge number of people who want this seat.
Right.
Does it mean people are dissatisfied with the leadership, or the current leadership is not working, or the previous leadership has never been working in the South?
Very good question. Now, if we go back to what I just said, this disenchantment,
Yeah.
this dissatisfaction,
Yes.
and this disillusionment
Yes.
with the leadership is not a current thing.
Yeah.
It is something that is then happened over a long period of time.
Yes.
And it is clear to everyone that we have not gotten our rightful share in terms of what comes both from the national government and the county government.
Yes.
And this is representative of a leadership that is been wanting all along. We have not had that leader, then we would say, really did what we expected them to do.
Yeah.
This in relation to what we contribute to the nation that is then Kenya.
Yes.
Because I'll give a very simple example. I told you I'm a civil engineer and in energy.
Yes.
In the energy sector in this country, you realize that Mbeere South, on its own as a constituency,
Yeah.
then is home to the 7 Forks dams. Meaning we contribute generally more than 50% of the electricity
Yeah.
generated in this country. We also host all the dams, all those major dams that then we can call
Sure.
the artificial lakes in this country are hosted in Mbeere South. Now, if we had been rightfully represented, then it would have been very easy for any member of our National Assembly to then put forth our case that we are giving Kenya all or most electricity, most of electricity, and yet we are not electrified. We host many lakes, actually 7 lakes, that are then necessitated by the 7 hydroelectric dams,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
We still do not have piped water,
Sure.
both for drinking and for irrigation. I mean, anyone looking at this case scenario would think you've either been represented by very inept leadership or there's something that is not right with the leadership that has been.
Yes.
Because in a span of 5 years, as a leader, you should be able to then do something given those ingredients.
Bandit. Yeah.
Given those ingredients of you have the water, you have electricity, and many other things.
Yes.
If we are talking about, say, raw materials, Mbeere South has numerous raw materials. If you look at very small things like just stone,
Yes.
something that is insignificant, if we were to have a crusher in Mbeere South and produce stone aggregates,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we have all the necessary ingredients to be the greatest constituency in this country, and it has not happened. So then the leadership, I'd say, has been wanting all along. Because if any of those leaders had 5 years
Sure.
as a minimum, then in 5 years, you should have done something that we would see and talk about.
Ben, do you think the leadership has failed us? And do you think giving a new blood, fresh blood, this position would work marvelous?
I'm on record saying about the current leadership, past leadership, they have done nothing.
Nothing.
Because being an entrepreneur, just the way engineers said, we host the 7 dams.
Yes.
We give Kenya the most electricity.
They have a huge
Yet,
chunk.
Mbeere South, I think it's 20% connected to electricity. That's very weird. That's very wrong. Talking about piped water, we don't have piped water in Mbeere.
Quite.
We have
But
the dam.
we have in Betty South, Mavuria, that side.
No, we
But
don't have.
During the tenure
you know,
of Honorable Mutava.
we are talking about 5%
Okay.
in the whole constituency.
Yes.
Only 5% are connected. We need to be serious because we have all the resources.
Quite.
We just need someone who will say, this year what I'll do, this year budget, what I'll do, I'll connect all homesteads with water. Because 100 million is a lot of money. Ukipanga utaconnect, you just need to pump water from Masinga Dam to the highest point. Then you distribute through force of gravity. So it's very much possible. But the leaders wanafanya the common mwananchi aone hizi vitu ni very impossible. But with good mechanism, good leadership, and someone who sees opportunities, very much possible.
Eric,
Yes, sir.
let me ask you. Amesema resources ziko. Now we have electricity. Yenye ina generate. It's empowering, like every homestead is connected through ile electricity inatoka Kiambere from the Seven Forks. Do you think our leaders, are we is the public to blame or the leaders to blame?
Okay, talking about the natural resources in Bere South, I cannot blame the residents. I'll blame the leadership more, but also the residents because of 14 poor leadership or poor leaders. Having those resources and a good roadmap, a good leader who can make a good roadmap on how we tap these resources to mwananchi is the key.
Sure.
Where as a community, we are, I don't know, it's a mess or a kind of something because we have elected leaders who have not shown the servants quality of delivering the community. When we talk about there is water in Bere South, I think that is 1% or 1.5% because Bere South is just big, you know, and we are surrounded with the dams, wherever Yakana, where you go the other side, Seven Forks. So I think the leaders have failed in that point of natural resources, tapping the natural resources, because as James has said, we have Seven Forks, we have water, we have the other natural resources, and also we can also grow ourselves agriculturally. We can grow ourselves, getting some fruit farming kind of something. We also have the other agribusiness kind of stuff. And that we can grow that from that point of view. So I think we need a good leadership and a person who can deliver, a servant who needs a design, a kind of proposal. How are we going to get this from the past point? How are we going to get the resources? And now how are we going to make this happen? You know, that's kind of a leader.
Sure.
I think, and so I can say, we as Bere South, we have not failed so much because any leader who comes on talks of the same thing. You see, like I'm going to deliver you from this stuff, but he fails. You know, we are not going to blame the residents. We are going to blame the leaders.
You're going to blame the leaders.
Yeah.
Those are the people now you will blame.
Yeah. And actually now when person comes to the Bere resident and say that I need this seed so that I can deliver you, what are you going to do? What the past have not done. And they have came with the same message. They said the same message.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to do this. Nothing happened. 5 years.
Bwana Nduma, why do you think you are better placed if you get this chance?
First, I'd like to say that leadership, we must be able to identify leadership that has the good of the community at heart. That is the first thing I'd like to say about that. I mean, everyone has their manifesto and everyone has their promises. And I can have the best story to tell you, and the next person will have the best story to tell you. Now, what we need is someone that has the good of the community at heart, and then that has the roadmap, is able to say what is going to do. Now, if we look at resources that are available, say to the member of National Assembly for development, it is not much. Like we're saying CDF is 100 million, and this 100 million is probably dedicated to security and education. So then we do not have the leeway to then do things that pertaining to water and other things, unless they then tie down to education or security, whereby you can sink a borehole in a school and probably have the community around the school benefit from that. It is very limited. But when you have the mandate of the people of Bere South as a member of National Assembly, you're then at liberty to approach development partners that will then help you to then attain some of these things that we're talking about. If you're talking about water, then if you wrote a proposal to say the National Irrigation Board, these are the people that are responsible and are doing most of the dams. If you look at, say, a dam like Thiba Dam, that is then in Kirinyaga,
Yes.
that is done by the National Irrigation Board. There's another dam called Twake Dam that is then done by the National Irrigation Board. Now, it has to be a very consultative effort between various bodies in government, and it has to be done in concert and in consultation. I've talked to people, and they say that we need to probably have demonstrations and talk about our rights, that we need water from, say, Tarda, who are in charge of the water. It does not have to be that way. We can do it in a consultative way, backed by Parliament. If we went to Parliament and put forth the question that we host 7 lakes in this country,
It'll be making a lot of sense.
right? I mean, anyone that has a head, anyone that is thinking will see that we've been treated wrong, that we host the dams. I'll tell you a very bleak scenario. There was a dam called Solai Dam, if you remember.
I remember.
Solai failed. Dams fail all the time. The people that were downstream of that dam,
They died.
there was such a catastrophe. And it was a very small dam. If you look at what Solai Dam is, if you drive along the road, Kanyonyo Embu Road, there's a point you get to and you see Masinga Dam,
Yes, yes.
very high, patched.
There's this post that you ever posted in your Facebook account diminishing the Kamba community because of the court ruling.
Okay.
You are too harsh to the Kambas. It's like you are. Many took it as you are very tribal. Yeah, it's like you are not happy about the court case. Kamba should go back to Machakos. What would you tell us about that?
Now, the other item that we need then to give a bit of priority is leadership, youthful leadership. We must say to our leaders that we are not leaders if you're not preparing the future in Bere South. As leader, we must plan a bit for the future. And when we talk about the future, we're essentially talking about the young generation. The future is not unto the old. The future belongs to the young generation. These are people that then need to be given opportunity. In any system of government or even society, there is a clear mechanism of handing over the reins of power from one generation to the next. It cannot be that in Bere South, we are always led by people that are retired. I mean, you listen to your leader's first name, it's retired, before you get to the name, right? Others retired 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, by the time you're retiring, you have spent the best, you have spent your best
Yes.
in service to the government, right? It cannot be that you will come after retirement, vie for a seat, fail a first time, come back after 5 years, fail again, come back 15 years on, and you retired at what, 65?
Yeah.
So you're basically going 80, and you're thinking that now is the time for you to serve Mbeere South. I mean, we government is clear in its policy that the best of you is in your younger days. You cannot be 90 years and
But
want to
there's
become
this notion,
MCA.
There's this notion
Right.
that the old is gold
Yes.
and the experience.
Yes.
This young guy has no experience.
That's
in
all right.
leadership.
That's all right. But
Yeah.
look at all the people that have achieved in this world, that have done things that we speak of to this day, right?
Yeah.
The first being Jesus Christ. Jesus died at the age of 33.
Yes.
By the age of 33, Jesus had achieved all that God had put before him. And we speak of Jesus to this day.
Yes.
If you look at Julius Caesar, people that, names of renown, they did not do it in their 90s. No. There is no society in this world whereby we send forth our elders into battle. When you go into parliament, it's battle. I mean, we are talking about resources. Everyone wants these resources in this nation, right?
Yeah.
So we have to put forth the most energetic, the most eloquent people that can do something. And this is the one mistake that we can see clearly. Why have we not had results if we've always put forth leadership? In fact, I say of all the leaders I've seen in Bere South, of all of them, I like Norman Nyaga most, because Norman put forth our name. There is nowhere in this country you'll go and mention Norman Nyaga, and people do not know. In fact, we ask sometimes, where do you come from? And you tell them Embu. You tell them Bere, and you have to explain, it is not Embu, it is Bere. And as soon as you mention Norman Nyaga, then they'll understand where you come from. That is the kind of leadership we want. Norman was in parliament in his early 40s.
Yes.
You see? And that is why he was able to achieve that name. I'm not talking about development. That level of recognition, because he was a firebrand. He's vibrant, and when he speaks, everyone listens. You don't take your grandfather into a meeting of young men. I mean, even basic language, when people speak, when Mutinda you speak, right? We go into parliament, and the language there, Babu, those are the people in parliament. They're asking they're talking to each other and asking, what's up, right? And your grandfather will start looking up in the sky, wondering what's up.
What's up,
right? Yes, right? So we must clearly identify then the generations and what generation is supposed to represent us. And the old men graciously go into the background. That is how we'll strengthen our society. We will consult you when we need advice. That is your role in society.
Ben, do you believe in youthful leadership?
I do believe in youthful leadership. If at all the person, the leader, leadership is a calling.
Sure.
It's not something that you grab just along the way. That's why you'll find many of these fighters, many of these tough guys in leadership up to date, they started it wakiwa wadogo. If you ukisoma history ya Raila, alianza kusumbua babake akiwa 9 years, kumuuliza very tough questions about the government. You see? So it's a calling. It's not just something that you grab. The other thing with youthful leadership, the best thing with youthful leadership, mtu bado ako na future. Right? So, anaona in the next 30 years, Mbeere South, ama Mwea Ward, ama this country should be at this level. So, he will utilize his youthful time to fight for his people. But now, what makes that narrative sink and inaoza mara moja, the young leaders that we are electing nowadays, wanajua kwenda pale ni kugrab ndio nitoshane na Nyaga family, nitoshane na Mutava family, nitoshane na Odinga family. So when they go there, they do nothing. They just grab. Because they want even them to become the dynasties. Yeah? So maybe most of them come in the name of good leadership, but when they wakingia pale wana change. They change very fast. Because
change system.
Not system, the environment.
The environment
and the friends. Because there before I used to hang out in Kilea, Makema, I used to hang out in Gashurere, I used to hang out, with those low guys. Then all of a sudden, mimi ni mtu sasa wa parliament, chai tunakunywa wapi, twende pale Sarova ama twende, you start changing all of a sudden. Hata kuna deal hapa ya serikali tunastahili. People change. And people change kama Muhammad Ali alichange. People change. Jichopevu kama alichange, people change.
Eric, what's your take on this?
Most definitely, I believe in youth leadership. And it's good. But we have a challenge, what you have said. When youth are in leadership, they loot, you know. I think the problem is the exposure on leadership matters. Because the moment that, yes, you say, yes, I'm a youth, I need to lead the people because I know what future makes and what future needs, you know. But at the same times, I don't have knowledge about what I'm going to do there. You see, you cannot pick someone from the village and say we need him to be a leader, because the moment he goes there and hey, hapa kuna deal msee, chapa tufanye, you know, you will easily sink to that deal. But when you get a youth leader, a leader who has been let's say in any corporate, either corporate society, either like has been moving his great things, so he knows what about leadership, because if it's a youth who had his own company, he know how to manage. He's a leader from himself. He's a leader. But now when you get someone from the street there and they're at home, and then yes, we give him kura because ni kijana, tutakuwa tumekosea.
Yes.
Unaona?
Yes.
The same point, we are not going to blame wazee so much, because we can also say that the old people sometimes they think sometimes they think more than us because they have seen many things.
Yes.
So these guys wanaweza kuwa na message inakaji. They have been in leadership and they have lived along the lifestyle, so they have something to deliver or something to pitch into the community which you don't have, you know. So so I think also we can consider them in a bit, but not much completely in the leadership. Okay.
Thank you. Bwana Nduma.
Yes, sir.
You heard it from the youth.
Yes.
Do you agree with what they're saying? Wanasema
Yes.
youth akiingia pale ana change.
Yes.
You are a youthful person, yeah?
Right.
And you've heard from
them, yes.
Yes. What's your take?
No, what I would say about that particular one is that this is a very personal thing. That's why I said in the first instance, you need someone that has the good of the community at heart.
Yes.
I mean, we have people that loot government, both old and young, right? It is not really something that is then unique to youthful leadership. In fact, the best I have seen, and there is an example I want to give you, is in the leadership of Honorable Sang, who is then the governor of Kericho. I mean, we have had the issue of Finlays.
Yes.
The Finlays are plantations.
Yes.
This has it has persisted from independence until now. I mean, they've had very many leaders before Sang, right? It is a problem that has been known to the local community, known to those leaders that have been there. It is just the other day, we saw Sang moving, I think he was MP at 25 years, moved into Senate, and now is governor in his early 40s, right? It is only now that we are seeing Finlays taken to ICC, and actually the governor winning a case against a very historical injustice. If we've had leadership all along, why have they not been able to deal with that? Right? It is only when we got someone that thinks this thing is dear to him and then has the energy to move this thing that this has happened. Right? It's the same thing we are saying in Bere South. We have had leadership. We've not had a vacuum in Bere South. We've had leadership. Are you now satisfied? Because when we talk about politics, we must never separate politics from economics, right?
True. Yeah.
Politics without economics, Bwana Mutiso, is basically symbol without what? Substance. If I come here and raise the flag of Kenya, it's a symbol of national unity. Can the flag do anything for you?
No.
We must look beyond the flag. I mean, there is a symbolic thing, and then there is a substance. So in politics, we are talking about the symbol in the member of National Assembly, and then there is a substance. I mean, what has this person brought to us, right? And when we look back, and I took you back to even before independence, Lejko, to now, if we look at the development For example, you look at Kindaruma Dam. That was done in 1954, right? That was before independence.
Yeah.
The people around Kindaruma do not have electricity to this day, right? It is only this last mile electrification that we've had. Electricity slightly getting into people's homes. Now, have we not had leadership? We have had, right? What was lacking in this leadership? If you look at it commonly, right? You talked of Mutava. Mutava came into leadership not early, but late. If you look at the other people that have been there, they've not come in their youth, apart from Norman that I said, came in and could be felt nationally, right? So, to answer your question about leadership, the youth, and theft, theft is not unique to the youth.
It is normal.
It is not unique to the youth. It is something that is universal. It is spread around.
Yes.
So it depends on the person that you have as leader, right? It is nothing to do with youth. No one is going in to try and make money to be. I mean, that will be the first disqualification. And it is said, we are created in the image of God, right? The Bible says, the good book. Meaning you, Mutiso, and you, even Eric, you're able to tell if you put all the aspirants in front of you, you're able to tell this guy is going in for, he might be going in for money, right? This might be a genuine leader.
That's true.
This is an old, tired leader. This, we are able to make the distinctions. So then our responsibility as leaders is to give you options. We come forth before you and give you an option, right? But it is incumbent upon every person with a voter's card to then see this person might help Mberes out. We are not giving a guarantee, but you're able to see that this gentleman can do something and this other one will not do anything, right? And this will still and this other one will not. There's no guarantee. I mean, you just talked of Jichopev, we went and changed.
Yes.
People thought he might do something, right?
Yeah.
And such is life.
So let me ask you, in 2020, you are very vocal in the social media about
Yes.
your campaigns and all
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Then suddenly you went down,
Right.
kept quiet,
Right.
and then now you have come back.
Right.
Rumors has it that you are a supporter of the Honorable Kingangi.
Whoa.
Tell us. Tell us.
Now. Firstly,
Yes,
that
tell
is hilarious. That is hilarious. And in politics, anything will be thrown at you. Anything will be said to discredit you, right? It is interesting. If I mean, it's inconceivable.
No, it is said.
Yes, it is
Listen,
said. Yes.
it is said.
Yes.
You are very vocal 2020. The reason why you went silent
Yes.
is that you were financed or silenced.
Whoa. Okay.
Or you are someone's project.
Yes, or you are someone's project. Tell us.
Even
Now,
some
let-
say you are engineer's project.
Yes. Yes.
That's all right. Like I said, anything will be said in politics
Yes.
to discredit you. In fact, when people perceive that you might be a stronger opponent, they will come up with a myriad of stories about you, right? Now, my being vocal in 2018, in 2020, I came early into politics. Why? Because I'm buying for the first time. So I knew that I had to come in early to then popularize my brand and myself. Now, you must realize what politics is, not as a spectator, but as a person running a political
Position.
machinery. You're running for office.
Yes.
Every time you go out there, what does it take? I mean, Mutiso, you've been in politics, What does it take to go out to the masses?
Popularizing yourself is the first thing, and
Yes.
that's the first step
Yes.
in politics.
Yes.
So it is not a bad strategy that you did, because
Yes.
now people in Better South knows who's
Wait.
sanitizer. Only that
Yes.
ujaingia vizuri kwa watu.
What I was getting at, and the answer I was looking for, is that every time I step out into the masses, it takes resources.
True.
It takes resources. Now, the richest of us cannot then sustain a campaign from 2020
Yeah.
to 2022.
Sure.
You're in the village every day.
It's a very
right?
expensive
Yeah.
affair.
You were just talking about people making money to go to
Yeah.
sustain it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, when I pull back a little, it's all part of my strategy. I'm not gonna be in the village every day.
Sure.
I mean, I need to pull back, make some money
Yes.
that can then be expended in the next phase, pull back again, make some money that can be expended in the final phase. It is strategic. Nothing of sponsorship. In fact, it is obscene. It's actually an insult to my person first because it touches on my integrity first.
Yeah.
That I am this person that is willing to sell the community because that is what it is. That I'm literally then trying to further a person's interest, a person who I have just said has not done nothing for us since independence, and I'm part of that community. I mean, it's inconceivable. Whoever is talking about that is, if I would not even what do they call it, dignify his claim by trying to explain that, but it is nonsense of the nonsense that cannot be explained. Really.
I have this question. It's a burning question for especially the Moma community in Mbere South.
Yes.
You know, Mbere is inclusive of Mbere, Wakamba,
Yes.
and Kikuyus.
Yes.
Yeah, and
There's this post that you ever posted in your Facebook account diminishing the Kamba community because of the court ruling.
Okay.
You are too harsh to the Kambas. It's like you are... Many took it as you are very tribal. It's like you are not happy about the court case. Kamba should go back to Machakos. What would you tell us about that?
Now, in fact, that was a post that was very controversial, and I thought it's hilarious because what I posted, if you read the post, was that. In fact, the genesis of the post was this. I'll just explain the background. Mutula Kilonzo Jr. In Makueni had taken KWS to court regarding some land that is held by KWS in Makueni that he was then getting back from KWS back to the community. Right? My post read this way, that the government has taken our land, right? As what our community land. If you have the post, you will say it has taken our community land, right? In the form of Tarda, right? In the form of Mwea Game Reserve, and in the form of Mwea Settlement Scheme. That was my post. It did not mention Kamba, Mbere, Kikuyu, or any tribe. I mean, I'm the first person that is alive to the fact that Mbere South is home to the Mbere, Kikuyu, Meru, Luos because of the lakes, Kambas across Makema, and it is historical. It is not something that has just started the other day. Now, in fact, I could not answer when people started saying I'm tribal. I'm now attacking the Kamba, and I looked. If you look at the post and pull it after this, and even put it next to this, next to this post, it does not mention a Kamba. And this is the rationale behind the most useless land we can hold as a community is a community that is held generally, right? That is not privately owned, right? Just like if you used to hunt in the old days, if you have a gazelle in the bush, who does it belong to? If you have a gazelle in the bush and you're going hunting, and others are going hunting, who does that gazelle belong to?
Anyone who is hunting.
No one. Right? That is a position of our land ownership in Mbere South. The biggest chunk of our land, say Mwea Settlement Scheme, does it belong to you? No. Does it belong to the Kamba or to the Mbere or to the Kikuyu? Who does it belong to? No one. That means that land is fair game. And if you go and look at their location, just to articulate my point, you will see people that are nowhere close to these tribes that have gotten portions of that land. Now, my argument was this: we need to petition the government to then remit the land back, give the land back to us, right? I don't care if it is given to the Kamba, as long as it is in Mbere South. The title is held by you, the Mbere, the Kikuyu, or whoever gets the title, but it is not private ownership, right? Meaning if I need a piece of land, I can come to you with money, and I can buy that land and I'll settle there, right? Sometimes when you engage people that have then something in the background, you know, you're thinking your own thoughts that I don't know of. The moment you mention scheme, now you are attacking Kamba. Look at the post, and I challenge you.
Now Mr. Nduma sanitizer.
Yes, sir.
Hao ni watu wa Mbere.
Yes.
Ongea na wao.
Yes.
Ongea pia na wale wako diaspora.
Yes.
Because this platform is watched all over the world. Because
Yes,
it's on YouTube.
right.
Omba watu wako kura. Ongea na kina mama, vijana wetu wa Miraa, anyone within Mbere South.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, waombe kura, waambie what you have for them.
Now, andu metu mambere wenda kumuvwa ya kura ya giti kia MP, Member of National Assembly. Irenda kumwira ni tuonete maundu mengi na maundu maria tuonete ti maundu matheru kuringana na development na varia development ibati gukorwo tukinyitie kuringana na nyamu iria turi ya mbere. We literally nithuĩ tũsupportaga government ĩno na thitima na mĩthanga na mathiga ma gwaka na maũndũ mengi na mengi na mengi tukaorganize nyamũ icio ciothe nũndũ wa maũndũ metu thuĩ enyewe no atuĩke maũndũ mengi mũno. Nĩrenda kũmũvoya kura nĩguo ngande kuorganize maũndũ ama kũringana nĩrona varia Mbere South ĩrĩ na varia tũbatiĩ gũkorwo tũrĩ. Nimbiraga andu undu umwe that uria tuonete akorwo ni barabara tutionete undu mwega na barabara niguo twake barabara niturenda akorwo ni ndeto eno ya barabara tuga sanitize giothe mundu magera kiwe kiga sanitizer akorwo ni barabara tugi sanitize go sanitize ni kumaanisha barabara cietu igiakwa na akorwo ni iria mbakete eno ya Kanyonyo kuthie kuria Embu igikirwa thitima niguo ukivituka andu mwanage we are the home of electricity. Kengen Tarda ni mabati gwika undu ucio na mabati kwirwa na meke immediately barabara yothe ya rami Kanyonyo Embu junction ya Avakamburu kuthi kia Mbere ikirwa at least thitima tondu thitima ciothe ciuma gwetu Mbere. Barabara ino cingite eno ya Machanga kuthie VI dicine kigitumi niyo yoka itae mpake tukaroria ring road yo uwe planet yonde na niyo iri varia vandu varia ve mathiga vai mithanga varia nyamu cionthe cia gwaka iria ciendekaga gwika atia gwaka ni kindu tutangiereithia. Akorwo ni kurima tubati gukora twina mai ma kurima na ma kunyua guti mundu ungithii ukiereithia uria Tana River ikwenyu no uria dam cionthe na lake cionthe iria nene muno Kenya man made tiga ino natural iri kwenyu na mutire mai ni kumaanisha utongoria uria tukoretwe naguo ndukinyite twikira maundu ama na nikio gitumi ukuona ni irutite ndi ino ni rwana miaka ya gwika ndwi maundu ama monthe ningi muvoya kura ringi kwa marietu ambitagwa James Mureithi wa Nduma na gwetu ni Mavuria bandu betagwa kia Mukuyu. Nituvecanite utongoria ũũ kengi kuria Mbeti South ano twire Mbeti South tukaria uma kuma indi allergical taya watu wiathi ginya muthenya uria wingi turekire mundu umite kuria Makima Mwea utaba musimu na agitongoria miaka yake 10 nitukwenda tuone utongoria ũũ wokite Mavuria na mwandu Mavuria mangika atia mangitutongoria atia tondu wa Mbeti South nituwonete na tutwire tumathuraga kwa maithura ni tutwire tumathuraga koguo na mwende ino metigire gwika atia tuthura niguo tuone kana no atuone ndui kindu kingishenjia ria tutwie. Kwa hayo machache, asanteni sana na kura na muvoya. If you looked at Kikuyu in the days of Charles Njonjo, everyone talked about Kabete, the constituency. Kabete does not have natural stone, the paving of roads. Very South has natural stone. Kabete does not have much water. We have Tana River. Kabete does not have sun. We have natural sun. Kabete does not have sunlight. To produce the best fruit in the country, we have sunlight.
Now, Mr. Engineer,
Yes, sir.
what strategies do you have to make sure at least we appear somewhere on the list development-wise,
Yes.
countrywide?
Fair enough. Now, Very South, like I said, has all the ingredients of greatness. Only these ingredients have not really been organized and exploited to put us then on the national map. Now, I'd still stratified in terms of the ministries. If we look at education, we do not have an institution of higher learning. Yet we have all the materials. Like I said, we have the stone, we have the aggregates, we have the sand to do this. Let us not look at education. Let us not look at education. Then in terms of just building a few toilets here, a classroom here and there, in a primary school or in a secondary school, and then say that we've done something in terms of education. Let's look at education in terms of those premier institutions of learning in this country, and envision Very South as then hosting some of these institutions. If you're looking at the premier secondary schools, let's look at Alliance High School, let's look at Lenana School, let's look at Nairobi School, being some of the top institutions, and envisage a situation wherein Very South then is then host to such school. Not an improvement or then an upgrade of the current institutions that then exist. Let us look at new institutions that we can then begin at that level. Let us look at institutions of higher learning in terms of then universities. We've seen the University of Embu, the University of Chuka, we've seen the Kemu in Meru, and when you look at Very South, then we don't see any institution of higher learning. Let us work towards developing one that will then, since education is then key to lifting our population out of poverty, and in terms of enlightenment, and then the ladder that will put our population at the next level, let us look at things in that regard. When we come to the intensity of government services to individuals, we must look at Very South as being part of Kenya. And being part of Kenya, then being entitled to then the services of government. When you look at the density of, say, hospitals, you will look and see that in Very South, we only have one hospital. It's actually a dispensary if you are then to compare it with hospitals around the country. Let us see and lobby the Ministry of Health so that we have then hospitals with a higher density. Let us have a hospital in Kiambere, a hospital that then serves the people of Kiambere. Let us have a hospital in Mavuria that would then serve the people of Mavuria, one in Makema, one in Mwea, and one in Betty South. We will then work towards making the density a little more by additional dispensaries and things like that. Let us look at every government ministry in that regard. Let us look at the waters that are then Kamburu, Masinga, Kindaruma, and all the eastern hydros, the lakes that they form. Let us see what benefit you can derive from that. Let us look at the fisheries department in terms of then supplying fingerlings for all these dams. Let us look at the water being used for irrigation and domestic consumption. Let us look at all the resources we have. Let us look at the storm. Let us look at the minerals, and look at the Department of Mines and Geology, and see how we can then have assistance from them in mainstreaming then the mining industry that is very vibrant in Mbeere South, yet has not been brought forth. Let us look through the government in that regard and in that light. Mbeere South is very, very blessed, if we say the truth. If you look at a state like the state of Israel, that is a state that then exists in the desert. And the biggest blessing that God ever gave them was the sunlight. Sunlight is plentiful in Mbeere South. What we have lacked is the water to then integrate with this sunlight to develop our farmlands and produce the best crop that this country would ever then produce. Let us look at collaboration with such countries. Given the mandate, you have a platform with which to integrate with states like Israel. Let them come and see what we have. They sit on a desert, yet they're producing the best crop in the world. We sit on very fertile land. They have to get their water desalinated from the ocean or drilled from the boreholes and has to be desalinated. We have fresh water. We have Tana River running along then through Mbeere South. Let us make use of this water. Let us engage Tarda and tell them that they cannot then take all our water resource and claim that the water belongs to them. Mbeere existed before Tarda. They acquired our land fraudulently in a way that cannot be explained. Let them know that water, they have access to water, and they must also give access to water to Mbeere South. We cannot sit back and just let them take control of the water, populate the dams with crocodiles, so that even fetching water for the populace of Mbeere South becomes a dangerous event. This, if looked upon logically, is literally a crime against humanity. You cannot have a population that does not have access to water, and you're deriving big benefit. Tarda makes a lot of money when then Kengen has to pay for the use of water to generate hydroelectricity. We have not seen any benefit in the community whatsoever in terms of CSR, and more so in terms of what needs to be done. If you look at the dams, large parts of water, people have to cross using very, very basic canoes, and people drown every day. We have not seen any effort by Tarda to then put crossings across these waters. This issue of then putting crossings across the rivers and the dams is not part of CSR. It is a right because then it rests on the safety of the people. If you go into a community, introduce a water body or something that is then a risk as they cross a river, then you must provide a means to cross. These issues have not been raised by the leadership, past and even present. These are things we need to engage in. We must engage Tarda. More so, let us look at the resources that Mbeere South has in detail and see what we can, the benefit we can derive from it. I am Duma James, vying for the seat of Member of National Assembly. What I have talked about is just but a small hint to what I have in mind as regards Mbeere South. I have seen developed places. If you looked at Kikuyu, in the days of Charles Njonjo, everyone talked about Kabete, the constituency. Kabete does not have natural storm for the paving of roads. Mbeere South has natural storm. Kabete does not have much water. We have Tana River. Kabete does not have sun. We have natural sun. Kabete does not have sunlight to produce the best fruit in the country. We have sunlight. What we need is organization of these resources. Let us talk about organizing and making Mbeere South the best constituency in this country and in the region. Let us aspire to those greater heights, not just mediocrity, so that even things that the population has done without any effort from the government, I'm talking about the crop that is Miraa, that has lifted people out of poverty, we cannot mainstream, we cannot develop, we cannot provide water for irrigation for this crop. I mean, it is absurd. I come to you asking for your vote that we may do this together. Look at the people that are vying for this seat objectively. Put us all up in your head. Make the right choice for Mbeere South. I wish all the aspirants that are vying with me all the best as we then seek to do the best for Mbeere South. Thank
Hello guys, welcome back to Flashlight online TV show, and today I'm at Gategi Market, and I have good friends of mine here. I want them to introduce themselves, and to start on my left hand side, I have one guy here who is going to introduce himself, and then I'll have the next guy who will also introduce himself. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you, David. My name's Joseph Mudama. I'm a resident of Moya, Gategi sub-location, Kakindu village.
Yes.
Currently, I work with the County Assembly of Embu as a ward staff, personal assistant to the area MCA, Honorable Harrison Mwaluko. I wish and I would like to thank you, David, for this noble initiative that you have taken to highlight and inform our community on matters of leadership and what is happening around us. Thank you, David.
Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Wilson Kisisio. I'm a resident of Embu County, Moya Ward, to be precise. AKA Willie Savannah. Thank you.
AKA Muna. Thank you so much, Willie. Na tunaanza direct right away.
Yes.
So we will start with the Embu County leadership. Our county leadership iko na shida. Reason is because our governor ni kama hatambui kama ana lead the county. The other reason, unaona development, these organizations zenye huwa zinafanya surveys kuhusu leadership developments, we always appear around 45, 46 or from 40 to 47. Sijaielewa what criteria they use, but they must have been using a very good criteria yenye inaonyesha kweli the leadership yetu inakuanga always below 40. Tell us why.
David, when we went to election on 2017,
yes,
we elected His Excellency Governor Martin Wambora.
Yes.
We also elected Senator Njero Ndwiga. We elected a women rep, that is the Tima. And we also have the ward representative, Honorable Harrison Mwaluko. On the issue of county governance, currently our governor is the chairman of Council of Governors.
Yes, yes.
And in terms of rating, Wambora has tried his bit. However, it's worthy noting there are some areas, especially the Mbere part of Embu County, seems to be underdeveloped. Maybe I may say somehow it has been marginalized to some extent. You understand this part of Mbere is the remote side. Eh?
Yes.
And according to the 2012 County Government Acts, I believe there were some funds that were given for development on the areas that were marginalized. We have 400 million that comes every year that is supposed to address the marginalized areas, especially in the Mbere North and in the Mbere South.
Yes.
We lack water, we lack good roads, we lack farm inputs, and many other aspects of development. And for sure, when we elected Governor Wambora for the second time,
Yes.
we had a lot of faith and confidence that he shall develop our area. But currently, however, due to the effect of COVID, from 2019, the development that we have been receiving are very little. And from my point of view, maybe it is due to the economic hard time. Severally, we have seen counties almost being shut down due to financial constraints and such things.
But
However,
look,
I have never seen our governor, Wambora,
yes.
one day coming to Mwea Ward to bring a flagship project. However, we have some, but I don't know whether he is not interested in Mwea or whether we never voted him. And if even we never voted him, we love him because he is our only governor that we have for this time. Therefore, Mwea somehow, majority of the residents feels as if they are not adequately represented by the county government of Embu.
Bwana Kizisio.
Yes. I want to differ with what Wambua is saying because there is something which is called budget.
Yes.
Embu County, as it receives budget from the national government.
Yes.
And the budget should be well distributed among the ones which are in Embu County. So, to be precise, about development in Mbere South, that is the lower part of Embu County, is very minimal. In fact, it's next to impossible because we see very little development as we expected from the governor. Yeah.
Talking of sports and youth, we can see some counties are doing well. Our county hatujasikia platform yoyote ya mambo ya sports. Kuna kiwanja yes, lakini imekuwa den ya miraa. What might be the issue? Kizisio. Ama ni budget hii pesa hii kutoka. Ni hii pesa ijatoka ama ni tenders?
Okay, what I know, there is a kiwanja that is Embu Stadium.
Yes.
That stadium costed Embu County a lot of money.
Yes.
I wonder, when I go there, I find only Mira Okas. The question is, what was the main agenda for this project? If the project was not meant for any good, that takes us back to it was a cash cow for the governor because we are seeing nothing happening at the stadium. So, what was the main meaning of having the stadium there when it's not put in?
You talked of
put in
flagship project within this lower side, that is, to so to speak, Mbeere South constituency. Do you know of any huge project that our governor has done around this side? Leave alone this side. Mbeere North also. We also have these are the Runyenjes and the Manyata.
Yeah. As far as governor's flagship project is concerned, in Mbeere South, I'm not aware.
You are not aware?
I'm not aware.
Yes.
What I know and what I see are signposts of the governor. We have one at Gategi Health Center. They came there. They elected their signpost there. There is nothing that started there. Nothing at all.
Nothing.
We have another Wambora project. I don't know his governor's what. I see a signpost at the Oni Drift. There is a signpost there.
Yes.
So I don't know. Some things we need to tell the truth.
Umesema Wambora is the chairman of the Council of Governors.
Sure.
Hawa watu walitumia kriteria gani? Kwa sababu lazima waangalie ule mtu outstanding kabisa. Which criteria?
Oh, just before that, I wish to
retaliate.
I wish to shed some light. In Embu County budget, we have this fund that I said that comes from the national government that is meant to be an equalization fund to ensure that the marginalized areas are developed up to the standards of the developed areas. And I've said again, it is a kit of 400,000. And through the Embu County leadership, there is this formulated policy that allowed that every ward should have a ward fund of 20 million. From this 20 million ward kitty, it is the little that we have been saying and we have been working with for the project that we have been seeing around. Therefore, when it comes to the flagship project, Governor Wambora in the last regime, in his first time to be elected, he had some projects that have stalled. We have Kasione Health Facility, we have Mbonzuki Serious Store, we have Gategi OPD, we have a health facility at Wakalia, and many more. Since when we came after 2017, these are the projects that he never focused on, and these were projects that were meant to be funded through flagship project money. Therefore, the 20 million ward allocation that has been allocated to every ward, it is money that has never come in full. And therefore, if we may talk of any flagship project in our ward, we have this Kengen County project.
Yes.
That is,
the water
we are
project.
tapping water from Karuku, that is coming to Kilea.
Yes.
When it comes to Mbeere South, we have Umau Stadium that is under construction. It was meant to cater for the sports and the youth. You've asked how chairman of Council of Governors was elected. These elections are held through consensus. They don't vote. And it depends where do you stand in terms of leadership. If you happen to come from the side of majority, that is the ruling party Jubilee, it means, therefore, you have an upper hand of being elected. And you see, election is all about democracy. Therefore, the election of Wambora as the chairman of Council of Governors came because he comes from the ruling party, which is the government. And obvious, it was by consensus that this time round, this seat should come to this region. That's how Wambora was elected as chairman of
his county is facing a lot of challenges.
Yes.
Recently, at Awajarudi strike, nurses, they were on streets. Reason, in terms of payments, issues to do with salaries, issues to do with deductions. Actually, the main aim ilikuwa, these guys are never given, the deductions are cut. NSSF, NHIF, KRA, tax. payee. Lakini hii pesa iendi kwa mali inafaa iende. Unaona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
David,
Yes.
let us give credit where it deserves.
Yeah.
On the health sector, Wambora has tried. When we talk of Embu Lifaro Hospital, it has been done a lot of infrastructure in terms of personnel.
But that was done after a lot of push.
Yes. And I think Embu General Hospital is one of the best facilities that have done some successful surgeons.
Yes, I know.
When it comes to in terms of personnel, this nation has been struggling with the money, and up to now, it's like we are operating on Fuliza, on the salaries. Recently, we had a health worker strike, which was called off this week, and the main issue is what you have said. And you see, according to my understanding, I thought the governor, because we are operating on Fuliza, we are Fulizaing from winners and other financial institutions to pay workers. And therefore, I thought this money, since the county doesn't have this money, it only Fulizad, the money is only enough for the workers. Therefore, even now, there are workers who have gone for several months without pay. And it is not only in Embu County, but in other counties. It's a challenge.
Counties are struggling.
Yes. However, the way Wambora administration has been led, it is very difficult to know where the problem are, because rarely our governor doesn't come out to explain himself. The Department of Health is at the humble hand of our Deputy Governor, Mr. Kariuki. Yes. And I think at least they are trying. It's only that Wambora inherited a county government that had a bloated workforce. You understand, Embu was a regional headquarters. And therefore, he inherited a lot of workers who were from the national government.
Sure.
And you need also to understand that out of our budget, 100%, 65% of our budget goes to the current expenditure and the salaries. It's only around 35% that is left for development. And that's why you see the wage bill is too high. And that's why you can see the development are very low.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Kesisio. AKA Mna. Leave alone now the leadership of the county or the governor's side. Let's go to the specific, to our constituency, Mbeere South constituency.
Yeah.
Tumekuwa under the leadership of Honorable Mutava Musiemi for 10 good years. 10 good years. He comes from within Mbeere South, this lower side, Pande ya Mwea. After the 10 years, tukapata another leadership from now the incumbent Mr. Honorable Kingangi.
Yeah.
Watu bado wana complain, hakuna developments.
Yeah.
Tukiangalia issues to do with roads. I don't know if there is any complete tarmacked road in Mbeere South. Correct me.
Not at all. It's none. There is none.
What was his agenda then for these 5 years? Because 5 years is not a short period of time.
Sure.
Yeah.
5 years is a very big, yani it's a big time, eh?
Yeah.
And we need to see and see if there's a project amefanya anafaa tuwe tunaona. So talking of roads, has he done anything good that people can say for sure? Hapa kuna hii barabara ya kutoka Keretire to Siakago, hiyo alipiga lami ama aliendelesha. Aya, hapa kuna barabara ya kutoka Piae mpaka pande ya Mashanga na huko Makema. Kama ameifanya ama hajaifanya. So let me ask you.
Yes.
Has Kingangi done his best?
On the MP seat,
Yes.
as far as I'm concerned, for the 10 years we went Mutava,
Yes.
Mutava did what was best for him.
Yes.
We cannot blame him for what is past.
Yes.
Now, looking on Kingangi, my personal opinion is that Kingangi has done the least. That is, when you compare our area with his area, where it comes from, a lot of development is on his side. When we talk about the roads, we entered this via Machanga Road. It was half tarmacked.
Yes.
So it was about
Not even
4 to 5 kilometers.
Yes.
It started from via going onwards to
Yes,
Machanga.
Machanga.
When Kingangi came into power, he did it the opposite. He took the tarmac the other side. He started from the other side coming...
Machanga.
Yes, he diverted the tarmac from Machanga to Kashorere. And he did 4 kilometers up to his home.
What?
Yes, that is what it is.
Allegations ama iko hivyo?
Iko hivyo.
Iko hivyo.
I went there, I witnessed.
Yes.
That tarmac is, past Kingangi's home is just like 200 meters. So, the time is always right to do what is right. We have time. Kingangi can tarmac our road within the 1 year remaining. So, let him pull up his socks. We are waiting.
So you want to mean,
we are waiting to see development from his side.
Time ya Mutava,
Yeah.
angetaka lami iende mpaka hapo Riakanau ingefika.
Of course, Mutava was the chairman of national budget.
Yes.
If Mutava wanted the tarmac to go up to his home and even past, it could have gone there. But I don't know what happened to him. Sometimes I'm worried about our leaders. I don't know what becomes of them when we elect them. It is not even the MP alone. Look at the MCAs, look at the women reps, look at the senator. We don't know where they went after election.
Sure.
Now, after 4 years is when they are coming back. Wanatuambia sasa wanakuja tuwapatie kura. Wanatusoma ujinga sana. We have to, as youth, we have to rise up and demand what is right.
Sure.
Yeah, for our community. That is it.
Kingangi alikuja na ajira. Actually, it's a national project.
Yes.
But he took it with Musheru.
Yeah.
And amefanya hiyo kitu ikakuwa at Keretire.
Yes.
We can see youths are going there, they are learning and they're getting mentorships,
Yes.
programs, na pia hapa Karaba. Na pia amefanya classes. His projects ni classes na toilets. Do you think he started the right way?
Our MP,
Yes.
Honorable Cornel Kingangi, on youth matters, he has done, however, very little, especially on youth empowerment and on mentorship program, especially on Ajira. I think it is something that has come to the youth and it is helping a lot. It has a lot of impact. Because since now we are moving towards the digital world, and most of these youth need to work online. Therefore, I think I need to give him credit. The program started at Keretiri. We were having classes at Karaba. And therefore, on that side, he is doing good. I can confirm several youths have acquired a job from that program. And even those who got the knowledge and skills, they are helping them. However, you discuss of the former MP, and I would wish to ask the Mbere residents just to appreciate Honorable Reverend Mutava Kasiemi, what he did.
Yes.
He did his part. Let him continue enjoying his retirement.
Sure.
Currently, the Kasisi is doing a circle, Anglican circle, and I think that is where he's best suited. He did his bit. He developed Mbere. He brought them water. He also brought roads, and he did some other classes. When it comes to the current MP, Honorable Geoffrey Kingangi, he has done a little bit on schools, toilets, administrative offices, AC office. We have assistant chief's office. He has done a little. On Matters Road, somehow he has tried. Some of the roads has been upgraded. For example, the Karaba Ria Canal Road, now it's under Kura. It is no longer under the county government. The Gachureri tarmac has been done 7 kilometers, and currently now the contractor is on the site, is moving towards the Gachureri. On our VI Karaba Road, despite having been done short work, there is a contractor on the ground who is recarpeting the road. However, it went against our wish. We would wish that the road should be extended from Karaba to Gategi. What I found not right, it is for Honorable Geoffrey Kingangi to go and start a new road, claiming that it's a balance of the the Kiritiri-Chiakago road. That's where I fault him. When it comes to connectivity, the Mwea people and Makema feels they have been they are not well taken care of. I would have wished if we would have started the road from Machanga towards Makema, because we are talking of Embu County Ring Road, and the areas that have not been developed in terms of tarmac. Anglican Circle, and I think that is where he's best suited. He did his bit. He developed Mbere, he brought them water, he also brought roads, and he did some other classes. When it comes to the current MP, Honorable Geoffrey Kingangi, he has done a little bit on schools, toilets, administrative offices, AC office, we have assistant chief's office. He has done a little. On Matters Road, somehow he has tried. Some of the roads has been upgraded. For example, the Karaba Ria Canal Road, now it's under Kura. It is no longer under the county government. The Gachureri tarmac has been done 7 kilometers, and currently now the contractor is on the site, is moving towards the Gachureri. On our VI Karaba Road, despite having been done short work, there is a contractor on the ground who is recarpeting the road. However, it went against our wish. We would wish that the road should be extended from Karaba to Gategi. What I found not right, it is for Honorable Geoffrey Kingangi to go and start a new road, claiming that it's a balance of the the Kiritiri-Chiakago road. That's where I fault him. When it comes to connectivity, the Mwea people and Makema feels they have been they are not well taken care of. I would have wished if we would have started the road from Machanga towards Makema, because we are talking of Embu County Ring Road, and the areas that have not been developed in terms of tarmac, it is Mwea and Makema.
Yes.
We do not have a single kilometer of tarmac in Makema. At least Mwea we have 6 kilometers.
4.
When you go and start a new tarmac on an area that has been served with a line of tarmac, to us we feel not good. On the issue of land,
Yes.
Kingangi has beaten below the belt. The issue of the land is a very emotive issue that Kingangi has not handled it in a better manner. And therefore, residents of Mwea and Makema, they don't adequately feel that they have been represented. I remember one time, David,
Yes.
our own Honorable Geoffrey Kingangi, standing in Parliament,
Yes.
on a point of honor, requesting that those who are allocated
That-
land at Mwea
Mwea
scheme
scheme.
should be resettled with immediate effect. And I wonder which section of Mbere he represents. When some section are not happy, it's like he is dividing us. Therefore, a good leader, it's one who brings people together, sit down and agree amicably
Yes.
and live together.
The way forward.
We are not enemies of Mary.
Sure.
We are neither enemies of Embu.
Embu,
But with the dialogue and a good understanding, we all live in this Embu County.
Yes.
But the priority should have been considered to the people of Mwea. And therefore, our MP, somehow, he was misadvised on the matters land. When it comes to roads, he promised to upgrade the Gandhi Road, and actually the road was structured,
Renamed.
was renamed to be
Renamed.
given security road,
Yeah.
so that it may
Renamed to?
it was given a security road so that it may be restructured to go into as per CDF policies. And that is one of the main road that we are looking for, that Honor for Geoffrey Kingangi shall open that road all the way from Nganga to Masinga Spearway.
Do you think it is possible?
Yes, it is possible. However, it is worth
There is a
noting.
very short span of time.
Yes, it is possible with the money. We have seen development in Kirinyaga. The stadium has been constructed.
Sure.
100 kilometers of tarmac road has been done. If the same effort and the same finances are put into Mbere South, everything is possible. But we also need to understand Mbere South is the largest constituency in Embu County. In fact, it carries almost a half of this county.
Sure.
So the 100 million that Kingangi receives, it is the same amount that Moshiri from Manyata and Karemba from Runyenjes are getting, and it compared to the area kilometer square, Mbere South is quite big. The number of schools that the CDF money requires to unrest, they are quite many. So these 100 million compared to other constituencies, I think something has to be done on the funding, because it will be very impossible for a single term, for a single MP to realize major development. However, it's also good to credit Kingangi. Within these 4 years, Kingangi has tried a little bit on bursary administration. We have seen him building classes. On matters security, he has constructed a lot of offices for the assistant chiefs and the Minister of Interior. And in fact, he is the one who initiated the Kenchen County Water Project, because of the animal human conflicts at Kiambere, at Masinga Dam. So at least he is doing some on water. And we still have water ponds that were recently dug. And we still have a major avidam at Kadhiani. These are some of the projects that are under the national government.
Is it under
National
the county or?
Kadhiani Adidam is under the national government.
Okay.
And since we have the area MP, I think he is the one who is best to oversee.
Sure.
To add on what my friend Wambua is saying, Mr. Moki, as long as our MP is concerned, Makema and Mwea ones are short-changed development-wise. Let me give you a bit of analysis here from the side of the MP, that is Mavuria Ward, Kiambere Ward, and Bet South. And you see the kind of development he has done in Mwea and Makema 1. I start with the Nyangwa boys. The last 2 years. In Nyangwa boys, he started a project of 25 million. Gataka Secondary School, he started a project of 3 million. Kabogori, he started a project of 1 million. Gichiche, he did a assistant chief building worth 500,000. Rogogo Secondary School, 5 million. When it comes to Mwea and Makema 1s, what I know of as per last year, he did a toilet. It's not a toilet even. It's a latrine at S.A. Gategi Secondary School. He did another one at Bonzoki, I think Bonzoki Market.
Yes.
If I'm not wrong. And as at now...
And there's SEK Mali
Administration block.
Class.
Yeah. As at now, he is doing a story building at S.A. Riakanau. That is ongoing. I hear rumors saying that he is doing I don't know if it is a lamp at Bonzoki Secondary School and an administration block at St. Stephen's Kisilo.
Yes.
So when you compare those developments from the side of our MP, he needs to do something as far as Makema and Mwea is concerned. Yeah.
So
about the land issue. Yes.
Tell us.
About the land issue, Makema and Mwea people should wake up and know that Kingangi is an hypocrite as far as that issue is concerned. Because this is our MP who represents Makema and Mwea want people, is our MP, that is Kashoka constituency.
Yes.
Kingangi goes to the parliament, he raises in a point of order and orders that the people who are given land at Mwea settlement scheme should be given their parcels of land.
Yes.
What comes in your mind? What comes in your mind? Our MP is biased. Straightforward.
Sure.
So our people from Makema and Mwea want, we should be very careful when it comes to
what about the issue of lawyers? The issue of lawyers.
The issue of lawyers.
Because most of the times people do contributions.
Yeah.
This time unasikia watu wanatoa 1,000 inaenda. The other time unasikia watu tena wanaitwa watoe 1,000 sijui 300 500.
Yeah.
And then after that kesi inapotea.
Hiyo mambo ya kesi, kesi yenye najua ni moja tu yenye ilipeanwa na Mutava Musiemi kwa kilo 10.
Yes.
Hizo zingine tunatoanga pesa. Mimi am a resident of Scheme.
Yes.
My house is in Scheme. I reside at Scheme.
Yes.
So tunatoanga pesa. Kuna kikundi tuko nayo inaitwa Pramondo. Inaitwa kuna kikundi tu Pramondo na we have clusters from that side. Makema side. Because majority of residents for Scheme are from Makema. So there is that money we contributed, 1,000, 2,000 per each home, and it amounted to a lot of money.
Sure.
What I don't know is where the money went. I cannot answer that question because I'm not aware. I'm not aware where the money went. What I hear from, what I hear and see from the internet is that the money was misappropriated by Honorable Ndiso Malamu and Makema MCA, that is Honorable Zangi.
Yes.
Of which I doubt.
You doubt.
I'm not sure. So, given a benefit of doubt, I will confirm.
And why do people get so bitter when they hear issues to do with Lenny Kivuti on the land?
As far as Lenny Kivuti is concerned, on matters Mwea land, Kivuti has a company called Geomap.
Yes.
It is said that Geomap is the company which did the Mwea settlement scheme subdivisions.
Yes.
That is why we don't like that name as far as residents of Mwea and Makema. Period.
As a resident of Scheme.
Yeah.
Did you see or were you informed of the subdivisions of the land, or how did it happen? Or you just came out and heard it was already done, demarcations were done, subdivisions were done? Did you hear the process?
My friend, there was nothing like anybody informing us about the subdivision. What we wake up to was people from Embu County coming with a lot of vehicles to beacon the land.
Yes.
We were not informed. So, I also wonder, we have a representative at the county level, that is the area MCA.
Yes.
And here are people coming from the same county, we sent him.
Yes.
Then there is something which needs to be done as far as the MCA and his residents are concerned. We need to talk. There is a gap. There is a gap between the MCA and the residents because some things cannot be discussed when the MCA is not aware and he is in the county. So the MCA owes us some explanation.
When I talked of Lenny,
yeah,
there's a time people from this other side, the South and Embu,
yeah,
they were even issued with title deeds.
Yeah.
And the campaign was all about this land.
Yeah.
And does that thing never went on well? The title deeds were deemed to be invalid and null and void. Does that mean then that is why these guys from there are so bitter about this issue of the land of Mwea?
This matters land is not an easy one.
Tricky one.
It's not an easy one. This issue was done politically.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, because you can see majority of the people who had titles were from Bere North, not from our area.
Yes.
So
and
that is where politics comes in now. Yeah, you can see you can clearly see even the people who went those titles, majority of them did not come from our area. And again, you ask yourself, are these people serious with whatever they are doing? Like now, I have a relative in Runyenjes. He has a title deed of scheme.
Yes.
He don't know where the scheme is, and he has the paper.
Yes.
So you wonder, which country are we living in? How can you have a title of a land which you don't know where the land is? What is this?
Mysterious.
Yes, very mysterious and awkward. Yeah.
Mr. Wambua?
Yes, David.
If you look at the list that was in the social media, you can see some guys had huge chunks, like 42 hectares of land. Do you think the subdivisions or the, I don't know what we can call it, was fair? Was it fair?
Land is a devolved function that should be undertaken by county government. And the issue of subdivision and beneficiaries and identification started way back in 2013.
Yes.
However, the process was not that quite clear. It wasn't fair because the residents were not fully involved. And I don't remember whether there was enough public participation. It was just a few people who were involved. Council of Elders, and some of our leaders. This is an issue that went through the County Assembly of Embu. It went through all the stages and the processes that are required by law. However, the residents were not adequately informed. And therefore, when the pronouncement of the land has been subdivided and it was in the final stages of the beneficiaries being brought to their farms, that is where the chaos erupted. And our former MCA, who happened to be the leader of majority, he had a big take in the whole saga. David and Wilson, I wish to remind you, Senator Lenny is a proprietor who owns Geomap. He undertakes big projects, and the demarcation of Mwea scheme is one of the smallest things that he could undertake. However, I understand as a person and an entrepreneur, I also have side hustles. despite being personal assistant to Honorable Allison, I also rear chickens.
Yes.
And I do sell eggs.
Yes.
And I also meet with other people selling eggs. And if Lenny Kivuti was given that tender of land demarcation, he did nothing wrong to the people of Mwea and to the people of Embu. He was given a job that maybe he was well paid, and I have no issue with that. But I have issue with the previous leadership and the leadership that we have currently, that is, it is not addressing the land issues. When it comes to the beneficiaries, we have several versions. We have the first version of list of beneficiaries, second and the third. Some of these versions were politically instigated. However, we have the original document. There was these differences between the beneficiaries. Some got very little sizes of land, and others got hundreds of hectares.
Yes.
And that's why we have Ngome who went to put a petition, and which they were front runners and the beneficiaries of this scheme. But because they were not satisfied because of those people who got big lands, that's where we ended up with a petitioning the land, the big land beneficiaries. That is land beyond 5 acres. So, Bwana me being a resident of this area, I'm now on my 40s. My father doesn't have a land. We live on our grandmother's portion because my Omau had 3 wives.
Yes.
And he got 10 acres. There's little 3 acres. That is my dad, my uncles, that is where we live. And when this scheme used to be here, I used to hear this land is ours. However, it was under the custody of the default county council. Nanye nesi kitaka kiene kitu na nesi tukamba kuwaiwa. And I had a lot of hope when that time come. Tondu tuyawa mundu anenga wa mundu wekibeti. Nanye ne kibeti. Tata no mau. It was done in a very shambolic way. The beneficiaries were not well identified. And actually those who missed land during the previous demarcation, some were left out.
Yes.
It was done politically. Our leaders messed up. Some were involved, and they have been adequately messed. However, it is worth noting, tuko na traitors wengi sana kwa leadership ambao tuko nayo. It is a man-eat-man society. Our leaders, they are the one who are disturbing the residents. Our people are desperate. And it is out of this desperation that they are giving money. Every time when they are being told there is a new lawyer and we have to win this case. And they are never given feedback of the court proceedings. Therefore, our people have lost over 10 million because of desperation. Every time they are kept on circles. They are being wanauziwa woga kila wakati. And unajua mtu akiwekwa woga ana ako desperate. Kwa hivyo akiambiwa toa pesa atatoa. Hatuna lingine la kufanya. But we have one slogan. Umaba hatu kayetuni.
Yes.
Another person should not be brought into our land where we are there.
Yes.
So let us be given first consideration, and there is no a better Kenyan than the other Kenyan. Therefore, mundu wake ite scheme na wena investment scheme apatiwe priority. Then let the visitors come. And therefore, Mwea people are peace loving. There is nothing like Mwea and Makema. This is Mwea region. Mwea ni moja. Kwa hivyo there is no Mwea and there is no Makema. We all live under one region in Embu County called Mwea. We are peace loving people. And actually, we live, Mwea is cosmopolitan. We live with Embu, we live with Mberians, we live with the Luos, Luyas, Somalis are all here. And therefore, tusiambiwa hati sisi kuna ukabila ama nini. Sisi ni wapenda amani. Yes.
Thank you. Bwana Kisisio.
Yes.
Hii issue ya land unaona kama itaisha lini? Ama
acha nikwambie ukweli. Kuna kitu
every leader anakuja akitu promise.
Acha nikwambie. Wanasiasa before wakoli alisema sisi wanasiasa ni kama shetani. If we can understand that well, we will know about these people. Hawa watu wanatuuzia uoga mambo ya scheme, ndio tukae tukiwachagua wakituambia tutashughulikia hii mambo ya scheme, tutashughulikia hii mambo yenu, tutashughulikia hii mambo yenu. Now you know, as my friend Wambu has said, people are desperate.
Sure.
Look here. We are now 40 years. We are in this land. We have built our houses there. We have invested a lot of resources there. So now, at 40, where do you chase me to go? Our leaders should unite from the top. That is from our MP, kutoka MP, kutoka kwa senator, kutoka kwa nani, up to yule wa chini.
Yes.
Waongee hii maneno kwa meza, ana kwa hana, mchana, wacha kwenda kujificha kwa hoteli huko Masinga. Tusuluhishe hii maneno ya scheme, tumalizane nayo once and for all. That's it.
Na hawafanyi public participation.
They don't.
And let me ask you. Let me ask you. So mtu atakuja na issue ya campaign story ya land huyo amumweki mahali.
Huo tutapiga mawe. Hakuna kupembelezana.
So this time there's no issue that you are campaigning for guys.
Not at all. Not at all.
Wow.
Hao tutatandika kutandika. Mambo ya mashamba tusiambiwe. Yes. What we need is titles. Period.
Sure.
Yeah. What we need is titles. We are tired of this scheme issue. Every year campaign comes, elect me, I'll take you to scheme. I'll give you scheme titles. The same happens to Bear North people. They are promised scheme land. And the scheme land is in Bear South.
Yes.
So, you know, our leaders are creating more problems.
Sure.
With our land. So maneno ya shamba tusiambiwe.
Na hii issue ya Kirinyaga County also wants to get part of this land. Hii issue nayo mnaiona aje?
Unajua hivi? Hii Mwea scheme, there used to be a ranching scheme.
Yes.
And our brothers from Kirinyaga side, they were shareholders.
Shareholders, yeah.
And they were members of the scheme.
Yes.
And even they held top leadership positions in scheme, the likes of Akinamboito and others. And therefore, they imagined having got shares of the ranching scheme, entitled them to be beneficiaries of the land.
Yeah.
And since Mwea, historically, it's part of Mount Kenya,
Yes.
I think somehow they may be considered because you see, Kambas came here at around early 90s. And
90s.
Yes, early 90s. That is when our great-grandfathers came to settle.
Early 90s or 20s?
In early
1920s.
No, 1900.
Yes, 1900.
Yes, early 1900s. That is when they were welcomed by the Kikuyu community. And actually, they were born. They were reborn in Kikuyu customary.
But nasikia Mbere were the first. There is a chief from I don't know where. Mwenye anasemekana alikuwa na control.
Anaitangwa Kombo Munyiri.
Yes, Kombo Munyiri.
But do you see? David, Mbere people are very clever. They are looking for a way of getting into Mwea. But historically, we used to have Chief Njega Wakioko.
Yes.
Who happened to, on the other side we had the Chief Kombo wa Munyiri.
Yeah. Yes.
And the boundaries was somewhere past Makema towards Machanga.
Yes.
And when we are talking of scheme, historically Mbere didn't have interest in scheme. They only kept beehives.
Yes.
And the natives, the Kambas, used to graze and doing some activities. My great-grandfather, Viki Robaya Machamba.
Okay.
And in 1950s, during the emergency time, because that is our history we are being told, our people used to live in scheme.
Yes.
This scheme was only conserved when Rajing scheme came during this famous time of Amuzungu, used to be called Ngandi. That is when the time scheme was conserved. There was a Rajing scheme was put in place. There used to be water, cattle dip, and other developments. David, hii upuzi tuache. Mambo ya mashamba ya Mwea yaongewe na watu wakiwa soba.
Sure.
Wanasiasa should get out of this. Let us bring our people together. Let's table the facts.
Yes.
let those who are supposed to benefit benefit in a fair way.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is not the first land to be adjudicated or rather to be given by this government. We have an able government.
Yeah.
And I thank Interior CS, Honorable
Bishop.
Matiang'i,
Yes.
for what he did. Our people were killed,
Yeah.
they were injured, and we suffered because of what happened. Because of just a few mafisi wa mashamba. That should not be repeat. Recently, we had Dungune incidents.
Yes.
Properties were destroyed. People were beaten, including our Mheshimiwa King'ang'i.
Yes.
He was beaten and he actually alilala kwa sema. Akiwa na watu wake.
Nilifurahi sana vile.
Walinyoroshwa. Walinyoroshwa. And which is also good. Yes. He tested what the residents have been getting.
Yeah.
So hii kitu haikuwa haikuwa scripted.
No. King'ang'i, our MP, came to give support to our people, but unfortunately, he came the wrong time. And that's how he found himself
The quank.
in a cell somewhere,
Machakos.
enjoying free things.
Sawa.
Yes. Dungune incidents.
Yes.
Properties were destroyed. People were beaten, including our Mheshimiwa King'ang'i.
Yes.
He was beaten and he actually alilala kwa sema. Akiwa na watu wake.
Nilifurahi sana vile.
Walinyoroshwa. Walinyoroshwa. And which is also good. Yes. He tested what the residents have been getting.
Yeah.
So hii kitu haikuwa haikuwa scripted.
No. King'ang'i, our MP, came to give support to our people, but unfortunately, he came the wrong time. And that's how he found himself
The quank.
in a cell somewhere,
Machakos.
enjoying free things.
Sawa.
Yes.
Let's go down to the member of county assembly leadership.
Yes.
Now, if we go down to Mbeere South, this side, there is Makema and there is Mwea ward.
Yeah.
And from social media platforms, from what people talk, you can see there's a difference between the two leadership.
Yeah.
Na kuna Zangi on the other side of Makema.
Yeah.
And there's Honorable Mwaliko on this side of Mwea.
Yeah.
My question is, why are these two leaders not getting together for the common goal of Mwananchi? Why are we seeing more support of the leadership in the side of Makema and less support on leadership on this side of Mwea? Why are we seeing that?
As far as Makema and Mwea ones are concerned, people should know Makema is a product of Mwea. So the leaders should come together in a round table, talk, sort issues as brothers and sisters. As long as Mwea ward is concerned, we are blessed. We have 3 MCAs.
Yes.
That is elected MCA Honorable Maluko. It's my MCA.
Yes.
We have Honorable Elizabeth Kivai. We have nominated MCA Edna Moisio. So, at times, I wonder.
But nasikia one of them ni wapande Bataku.
No. I started by saying Mwea ward is blessed.
Yes.
With 3 MCAs.
Sure.
I did not say 2. I said 3.
Yes.
So that notion of one is from Makema side, although I hear they link with the manager, that is theirs. That's not my business.
Sure.
So it beats logic when we see Makema having much development than Mwea. When Makema should not be compared
Actually,
to Mwea at any levels, because we have 3 MCAs at the county assembly of Embu, and there is where resources are.
But you talked of wage bill. Ama hiyo pesa wage ndio inakula hii development.
Kuna kitu kama hiyo. I said there is a budget for everything.
Yes.
So mambo ya kuambiwa at wage bill, hakuna kitu kama wage bill. Pesa inakujanga, pesa ikikuja itumiwe mzuri.
Yes.
That is it. Mambo ingine ya wage bill tuache kuambiwa.
So unataka kumaanisha hii leadership yenye iko kwa Mwea iko so much blessed.
Yeah.
That should translate to
development.
High,
Yes.
Na ni kwa nini I happen? Na tujasikia wakisema wamenyimwa pesa.
Okay. You know, we started by saying politicians are devils. These guys, they think of the next election after election. You understand?
Yes.
So, we have here Honorable Endeta Moisio. We have Elizabeth Canon Kevai. These 2 ladies, come 2022, maybe they will want to vie to host our Embu MCA, Honorable Maluko. So, in other words, they can pull him down so that they can outshine him come 2022.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Wambua.
But David, I cannot allow my good friend Kisisio to say on this main show that politicians are devils. You should withdraw. No, we are not.
Amesema before
I said before you were calling. That one was a slogan
we
from
did not elect devils.
Before you were calling.
Just withdraw as we move on.
I withdraw.
Yes, thank you. Now my take.
Sasa wewe kwanza kabla tuanze. Kuja.
My take.
Kuja.
Having 3 representatives in Mwea Ward doesn't directly translate to development.
Or does it translate?
These are people who are specially elected on interest of political parties.
Yes.
We have 1 representative of Maendeleo Chap. The other one from Jubilee.
Yes.
And when it comes to business matters of the house, they have no any role of representing the people of Mwea.
Yes.
They represent the interests of their political parties. And if I would have wished that these nominations could have come with resources, we are talking of ward fund. If I would have wished if the ward fund could be given to every HMCA, we would be talking of 60 million. Therefore, the amount of money that we get allocated to in Mwea, it is equal to the money that is allocated to
wards.
Makema and all other wards. And therefore, we do not get an extra coin for the factor of having 3 representatives.
Sasa
Leadership style, leaders and the leadership style are quite different. You cannot compare people on their leadership style. Honorable Nzangi, having been the youthful leadership in Makema, Makema was one of the areas that were underdeveloped. And he has majorly focused on opening of the roads. And those are the main areas that he feels, and the people that he represents, they feel as their first areas of priority. When it comes to Mwea, which was a little bit developed, we have areas that people of Mwea feels they should be given into priority. We Honorable Horizon Mwaluko is a good friend of one Honorable Zangi. They meet in the assembly, they meet in committees.
Retreats.
Yes, they are not enemies. These are colleagues in the assembly. And there is no any difference between Honorable Zangi and Honorable Mwaluko. But there is this kind of a hot air, kind of a wedge that has been brought to separate the two by the supporters. When it comes to land issues, Mzangi, he represents the people of Makema who happen to be the residents of Scheme. And every time there are meetings that are being called because of the land matters. When it comes to Harrison, Harrison is a humble man. who is consciously on developments of Mwea. He has done a lot of classes on ECD.
Yes.
He has done projects of water. He has done around 8 boreholes. Some have been mechanized. We have Karaba dispensary. We have Malikini. We have he has repaired several boreholes, and therefore, on development matters, Harrison has tried to balance the development. He has not majorly focused on one area. The roads, he has tried from Gategi to Musingini, Malikini. The road is being done. On the areas of market, he has done several market sheds. We have Karaba and others. Makutano has been marammed. He has done market toilets. We have Kategi, Mbonzuki, Kilea. He has done a little.
But the project is doing,
yes,
like the one for toilets.
Yes.
I don't know if those, you have gone round to see whether those toilets are being working.
Now
there is one I know from inception, haijaingia mtu akainama, haiwezi ingilika. Saa hii imefungwa na
hata hii hapa kwetu
Madhanzu, inaitwa Madhanzu.
Hata hii hapa kwetu Kategi ingi yangu.
What is the problem, my friend?
Our people have to have a positive attitude towards the development that are initiated by leaders. This is their resources, it is their money.
Yes.
And once the leader has done his bit, we have a market committees.
Yes.
These are the people who should take on from when these projects are initiated. You should give, you should maintain, you should be watchful to those projects. Therefore, those who are not using the pit latrines in the market, it is the market committee that has failed. We are talking.
Let me ask you, wakati unasema market committees ndio they should be responsible or should look at what is happening on the ground, choo ikibomoka, market committee ndio sasa itakaa chini iseme hii choo imebomoka, we source for funds, ama they will come to the office of the MCA.
When I see that, I see the market committee have a certain role and their mandate.
Yes.
But when it comes to major repairs,
yes,
that is the work of
the
county
office
government
of the
Embu.
Yes.
The county government of
and
Embu.
that is where things are failing. Kwa sababu market committee ni wakutafuta hii choo imeng'ara, imeoshwa, iko namna gani, inatumika. If there are any charges, do we need to charge them? Lakini ikipasuka ukuta, my friend, market committee,
it is good we understand how county governments operates.
Yes.
We have the executive side of the county government.
Yes.
We have our own representative who happens to be the supervisor and coordinator of every function of the county.
Yes.
And therefore, he has a role and a duty to play
yes,
on the developments that have been done. And therefore, he needs to be constantly liaising with the residents and giving periodically reports on the status of the development that has been done. The representative of the people has a role to lobby for funds, to push them into the budget, and to ensure that the projects that comes to the ground are properly done. Therefore, people, our residents, and our leaders have different roles pertaining to the developments.
Are you of the same idea?
No, not at all.
So the office of the member
office,
of county assembly has failed.
Is failing in one way or the other. Like the issue of toilets. Let me ask my friend Wambua, what was the essence of bringing a toilet in the market like Gategi and it's not operational?
Sure.
The toilet is being used.
What were market committees ndio issue?
No, the Kategi one is functional. Somebody has frontiered. Who takes care of it. And if you happen to visit the pit latrine, it is clean. People are using it free on charge. Where the location of the toilet is, it is surrounded by kiosk, and some happens to be eateries. And therefore, these people have come together and they have agreed they should keep the toilet clean for their use. We did this basically because of market sanitation. We cannot have our people coming to the market and going to pay latrines at hotels or even pubs. That is not in order. And therefore, from where I am, our people lack civic education on matters development and leadership and their role as citizens. Yes, they need to be empowered. They need to be informed of what is expected from them. And this, we can do it, me, you,
Everybody.
and Savannah, and anybody else who understand how these things should be done.
It's a collective.
To wrap up,
Yeah.
the water project, how far has it gone? The project,
The Kengen.
the Kengen project in conjunction with the county government.
The Kengen County Water Project,
Yes.
I think it's almost 85% complete. It is only a few challenges that have engulfed the project. We have small issues of vandalism from the residents of around Kilia. And again, the contractor has delayed to deliver to finish the project on time. And I know very soon, the project will be completed and it shall be benefiting the residents. And we welcome such a project. And I know once the water gets into Kilea, it shall be distributed to other areas. And I believe the first place to get water shall be Mbonzuki. We shall bring water to Koma, Maviani, Gomola, and those areas shall get that water. It is a matter of time and the availability of resources.
But wait a bit.
And the speed
You
of
don't
Wait a
promise.
bit. Wait a
that-
bit. Wambuga, when a project is given, there is a project time frame.
Yes.
That Kilea project, water project, the time is already lapsed. So, how long should we wait for the water to go to Kilea?
Ama ni ile siasa tu.
Ama ni
You see,
siasa.
from where I
Siasa
sit,
kwa project kama
and my
It was supposed to end to be
August,
complete
actually.
in August.
This is
It
your-
is now November.
Savannah,
Yes.
from where I sit,
Yeah,
I cannot assure you
yeah.
when the project shall complete.
Complete.
But what I can say, the project is 85% complete, despite a few challenges here and there.
Yeah.
Lastly, when I checked, the contractor was testing the pipes, and I think that is the far that he has gone. Sometimes projects do delay, and by natural causes, and other technical issues,
Yes.
including the availability of funds. Because I don't know the contract agreement, whether it was agreed that it should be paid on phases or it shall be paid once the project is. There are technical bit of contract that I cannot say. But what I believe that this project, one day, it shall come to benefit the people of Umea. Whether it is during this time, whether it is during this time or it is in future, because here, David, we are not talking of personal resources.
Yes.
These are government resources that has been pumped to bring up a public development. So
Yes.
it doesn't matter who is the leader, who shall be the leader, but the resident shall remain the beneficiaries of the project. Yes.
Talking of insecurity,
Yeah.
I remember there's one of the aspirants in the position of MCA.
Yeah.
He was almost attacked,
Yeah.
and this went through the social media platforms almost everywhere. People knew that there's one aspirant who has actually been threatened.
Yeah.
And I have never had such a case in Mwea.
Yeah.
Why do you think this has started this early?
Okay. To chip in on that issue, as far as the issue is concerned, Wambua is an aspirant
Yes.
for 2022
Sure.
MCA seat. So it is logic. People need to threaten others so that they can withdraw because they know this guy is strong than me, or maybe I don't know how I'm going to put it, but when politics time starts, many things happen.
Sure.
So people should the relevant authorities should be keen, and whatever is supposed to be done should be checked on well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Talking of the 2022 MCA race, you work in the office of the incumbent.
Yes.
Do you see hope in the future?
There is one appeal. There is one appeal that I want to make to our youth.
Yes.
That they should not allow themselves
Yes.
to be used. Musikubali kununuliwa pombe mulete vurugu. Leaders, those who are aspiring to be elected, should not use our unemployed youth to lure them and buy them makombe kegi to compete with their political
Whiskey.
opponents.
Did you answer my question?
Now,
Come.
towards 2022,
Yes.
one Harrison Mwaluko shall be defending his seat.
Yes. Sure.
Harrison is one of those who have the characters of being liked by people. Most of the people in Mwea, they trust him.
Yes.
They believe in his leadership. Especially the aged, those who have been here, who have lived with him, they trust him a lot. 2022, I am not seeing a great challenger. His record shall speak for him. He has tried. You cannot compare Honorable Allison with the predecessor. Allison has brought youth activities. We have been seeing tournaments have been happening around. I think that has not used to be there. Arizona leadership is founded on social justice. He supports community initiatives. When there is fundraise, weddings, burials, is very generous. And that is one of his strengths, unlike other aspirants. Harrison has the knowledge of Mwea issues. He has an advantage of having worked from an NGO, that is Tony Corren. He has interacted with the people for a quite long time, and therefore he has an upper hand of understanding. Since now he has been, and he is now currently the area MCA, he must have seen the challenges that our people are going through, and he must have gotten the benefit of experiencing leadership, especially being the deputy leader of majority, the county chair of the budget. So he must have experience. However, his leadership has come with a share of challenges. It doesn't matter whether you elect an NGO as an MCA, what matters is the hand of the county, that is the governor. Because MCAs will sit and plan and budget for money that is in the pocket of a governor. If we can have a ward development kit that is fund that can be under the patronage of an MCA, a leader of an MCA can do a lot. I wish, and I know most of those who elected Harrison had a lot of hopes on him. However, they were not aware whether this leadership comes with challenges. So, Harrison has tried, and I believe the Embo residents of Mwea will give him a second chance to complete his term.
On a scale of 1 to 5, weka yeye.
You see, I cannot rate him.
No.
It's like rating him is like rating
No, you are
myself.
doing it for the benefit of people,
Yeah,
the community.
Not, yes, not for
Watu
him.
wanataka kujua how much has, kwa sababu kuna
On average,
yes.
on average, being under the Wambora regime,
Yes.
Harrison has faced a lot of frustrations. Have seen budget being passed, money be allocated, and the awarding of contracts coming very late. Some roads are being done on during the rain season. Some are complaining. So, on a scale of 1 to
1
10,
to 5.
1 to 5,
Yes.
Harrison is an average. He has done an average. Yes.
A 2 or a
3.5.
3.
He has done.
An average.
Is
That is
above
2.5.
average.
That is
Average or
2.5.
above average.
That is
That's 2.5.
2.5.
You, that is
Yeah.
what you are saying. It's you are saying. Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 5.
Yes.
Patia yeye.
Let me explain a bit. Arizona, Maluko is our area MCA.
Yes.
I was number one supporter of him.
Yes.
Everybody knows that without any doubt.
Yes.
And as a resident of Mwea, we expected much from him, of which we are not getting what we expected from him. On a scale of 1 to 5, I'm giving him a 2.
So you have given the reason why
Yes.
you are giving him a 2.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you see 2022 race hot?
2022 seat is very, very hot. Yeah.
So there is a lot of work you are...
to be done. Very true. Wambua, you have a lot of work to do. Let me not play games with you on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Wambua, what are your final remarks now that we are ending this show? It has taken us a lot of time.
David,
Yes.
I wish again to thank you so much
Yes.
for finding your time to conduct such a very good interview. Going forward,
Yes.
I want to ask our people to have a change of attitude towards their leaders and to appreciate what our leaders are doing and what has been done. And everything in any project that comes to them, they should be protected because it is their resources and they should own those projects. Going forward to 2022, I pray for peaceful campaigns.
Yes.
We have a class of aspirants. I think where MCA seat has attracted over 10 candidates. And I believe it is the leadership style of one Harrison Mwaluko who has brought the leadership to the people, to the mashinani, that no chowana imwano nini yenda kwizela, because Harrison is one approachable man, social, you can meet anywhere him. You don't require a PA to reach Honorable Harrison. You can meet him anytime, any day, and he is available for our people. And therefore, neasia atongoi ma kune sindu nesa na tuzikalanye nesa na mugo na tuzendana.
Yes.
Because we are not going anywhere. Leadership comes, leaders come and go, and we shall remain. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Mr. Kesisio.
Yes. My take on that is about our leaders. When we elect our leaders, some of them becomes victims of 5 P's.
5 P's.
Yes. The first P,
Yes.
they become victims of power. Get me?
Yes.
The second P, they become victims of property. The third P, they become victims of prestige. The fourth P, they become victims of popularity. And the last P, they become victims of pomposity. Pomposity. That is what is called by Swahili people, mboya mboya. Leaders, waache mboya mboya. 2022, tuko na 7 aspirants.
Yes.
I want to differ with my friend Wambua.
Yes.
Is saying the 7 aspirants are coming because they have seen leadership of Maloko is good.
Yes.
It's not at all. When you see people demanding what you have, there is a reason.
Yes.
They have seen a gap
Sure.
in the leadership of our MCA. What I can tell our MCA is to pull up, because when you see people coming to demand your seat, there is something wrong.
Sure.
So, and what I can say to our people who need that seat, there are 7 of them.
Does that mean is that the reason why Makima no one is coming out?
Makema, nobody can come out because Kamanager has interacted with the people, the electorates very well. Nobody will stand out
So
in
this guy
Makema. Yeah.
Is
Wambua is working in the office of the MCA,
Yes.
so you don't expect him to
Anything
talk much.
good,
Yeah. What I want to tell our youth is that our lives begin to end the day we become silent on the things that matter.
Sure. True.
When we see something is wrong, let us talk.
Sure.
Let us talk. And the relevant authorities will take action or they will do what is necessary. Kwa hayo machache, asante sana kwa kutuunganisha pamoja. We are looking forward to meeting with you severally. And thank you so much. Na ndumeka le machene na tuye ko tume ta ndia mbizo zia ndia ni zia kuyesia vela.
Sure.
2022 to the anebo.
Sure.
Thank you.
So guys, thank you so much. This is FlashLight online TV show, and of course this is your #1 TV show on interviews.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, and God bless you. You guys, I will still look for you again.
Yes.
There's so much that we were not able to speak. So much, in fact, I don't know. So guys, wait for another time we will meet these other guys. Thank you, and God bless you.
Come out. Party night.
Thank you, man. Well.